Hi everyone, hope you're okay. So I've just got back from my group session this afternoon, it's Tuesday, and we did self-care today. Now I'm probably going to do this topic over maybe 2 or 3 separate videos, and that's because firstly it's a massive topic, but also it doesn't just relate to people with chronic illnesses. You know, we all need to take care of ourselves, and that can be identified in lots of different ways. So we've got to look at sort of your physical health, your mental and your emotional and even your spiritual care, in those all brought together to formulate your level of self-care and create your self-care plan. So today's video, I'm doing pacing. Now, I detest the word pacing. It's the only time you'll ever hear me talk about it. So this is really specifically for people with chronic health conditions such as fibromyalgia, ME, MS, lupus, EDS, those sort of conditions. And the word pacing, I don't like it. I don't like the theory of pacing, and the reason why is we're not stupid, right? We've lived in these bodies long enough. I don't need somebody to tell me how much to do and how much not to do and how I should live my life and blah 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 blah. So I did this graph thing, which I'll explain to you now. So let's see if I can move. Oh, I can't. So down the, I don't know whether that's the right hand side for you guys, is we've got a base level of 0 going across the bottom. Going up, we've got well, I've put fun activities and then I've put stroke active, because it doesn't necessarily have to be fun activities. We could be talking about doing the housework. And then coming down, we've got crash. So where you go into a flare, you struggle with pain, you have no energy, and you can't do anything. And that's going down from 1 to 10. So the green lines are boom and bust. So this is probably what we were doing when we were still kind of in the early stages of having our health conditions and maybe not even being diagnosed at this point, not really knowing what's been going on. So we would have quite an active life, do something really good, like go out. You remember those days? But then you would crash so far down, and it would take like weeks or months even to recover from it. You'd recover, and then you'd go and do something again. You'd have another night out, or you'd clean the house again, or whatever, and then you'd crash all the way down. So that is what we call a cycle of boom and bust, and it's not recommended, obviously. And the medical profession, when they teach stroke talk about pacing, not pasting, this is their line, the red one. It's literally red, and it literally, you don't have a life, and if you don't have a life, then you don't crash. So that's their theory on it. So on a day when you might be feeling like you have a bit of energy, or you might not be in as much pain today as you normally are. So they want you to not overdo it. Okay, now we know that. Like, we know not to overdo it. But this is kind of like, to me, not got a life, because I'm too busy being scared of crashing, being scared of suffering the next day. So my line is, do you know what? Have some fun. We are still human beings. We still have a life to live. We still want to build memories with our loved ones, our family, our friends. We still need to do things that bring us joy. Okay, so going out night clubbing till 3 o'clock in the morning and then coming back and going to work, that's not, we can't do that. But we can do it. You can play with your kids, you can go to the cinema, you can go out for lunch. Just, you know, okay, you might pay a little bit the next day, not necessarily all the way down to like really bad. You might just be like, oh, I need to stay at home today and not do much. But you're not sort of, do you see what I mean? Am I even explaining that any good at all? So, majority of people with chronic illnesses such as these, and it's, you know, some of the members in my group have had their health conditions a lot longer than what I've had mine. You know, they've been struggling and they've been living with this condition. And this is where kind of an annoyance with professionals comes in, is that we know our bodies better than anybody. Okay, we know about the cycle of boom and bust. We know, we've done it, we've tried it lots of times, learned from our mistakes. Okay, so I'm not going to preach to you, don't do whatever, but you're still human beings. We still deserve and are entitled to a enjoyable, fulfilled life, doing things that we enjoy. And you know, I get that the things that bring us joy may have changed from what used to bring us joy. We may get them from different places now. We may get that enjoyment from different places now because our life is different, and that's fine. And you might even be willing to be a little bit kind of croaky tomorrow and a bit rigid and a bit oof. But yesterday you did something and you created memories and you had an amazing time, and it was so worth being in pain tomorrow. And we're not talking level 10 pain, because we actually didn't do the kind of like, we didn't kill ourselves overdoing things, but we did overdo things a bit. We kind of used our energy a little bit more than what we might have done or should have done or whatever. And so we might need a more relaxing downtime day the following day. And a lot of people with who I've worked with and spoken to, so if they have an activity or they're doing something, and it might be something as simple as a hospital appointment, for some people that is an overwhelming challenge to achieve. Just getting dressed, getting showered, getting dressed, getting in a car, finding a parking space, walking to wherever you're supposed to be, sitting and waiting, having your appointment, completely disappointed because it's not what, and then walking back to your car, getting in the car, going home, and by the time, and so some people that's very real, a very real reality of the conditions they're living with, that going to a hospital or a doctor's appointment takes so much out of them. But yeah, so like, I don't even know what, I've completely lost where I was going with this. So yeah, so you won't hear me talk about pacing very often, because I think, like, do you know what, you know your bodies, you've been living with this for a number of years. If you've got a diagnosis, you've been living with this for a number of years, because that's how long it takes to get a diagnosis nowadays, with all the appointments and tests and blah 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 blah. If you can even get an appointment. So do you know what? If you really want to do something, just do it. Just do it and pay the price a little bit. But like, do not go into the cycle of total boom and bust. And that's all I'm going to say about pacing ever. Because I just think, do you know what? Grown-ass adults, you know your body better than anybody else. Just find your vibe, find your thing, find your levels, and they might fluctuate. But yeah, pacing with a chronic illness, particularly a chronic pain condition. Yeah, don't know if that was helpful or not. Speak to you soon.